I didn't know why I came so far. Was I born till I know this moments? And held my way, walked away, that I just got so sick of it. Then the way that I was from they give it what can see you no more. And you let it go.
Looks like Dragon Bird double African
Blue shot pala! And a two-man! Glacier!
Get the kick, so here, no! More Dragon does go into Mesky's side. There's Equalizer in the back line. That actually, you know, a 5-man! Parang naging standard na yung pag tumatama yung ultimate na AoE. Talagang sisigaw ka dapat. 5-man!
Two-man Glacier!
Alright guys, welcome back to the Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split. We will be your shoutcasters for these two last games of the night. I am, of course, GS Astrodry with an I, and alongside here with me is...
I am Shinbu, and that is a Shinbu with a 1 for an I.
Yes, and of course, again, we are playing in the 5.22 patch. And going back into the previous game with Explicit Hardcore Gaming and Imperium Pro Team Blue, yun nga, going back to what Amplifier said, nakikita mo talaga yung experience na Imperium Pro Team Blue.
Yeah.
And yung superior jungle pathing ni Rebenga na hindi siya halata pag nagagank siya, pero pag average siya, medyo predictable.
Nasa description talaga yung pag gumang si Rebecca, solid talaga.
Yeah, that's true.
Ayan, okay, if you look into our schedule, ano naman ang naka-ready para sa inyo, mga viewers and summoners natin out there?
Yes,
ayan.
alright.
So for our match 2, makikita natin what will face up right now would be INFZ Esports taking on NAGA Esports for Game 3 and Game 4. Mula 7 PM yan hanggang 9 PM.
Yes. And kung titignan din natin, NAGA Esports, they are an old team in the PGS, but they have a somewhat 4 out of 5 new face.
Yes.
Only Daigo, their original mid laner, retains in the NAGA roster.
Yeah.
Nagbago na ang kanilang mga members ngayon. As you can see, nakita natin kanina, Explicit Hardcore had the former Naga Neep who was in the support, now playing for XHG as their own support then.
Yes. So if you look at our standings, makita natin, everyone will start off 0. Kanina, okay, Imperium Pro Team Blue sa standings natin, after 2 victories, okay, managed to secure a very, very good start for our group stage with 3 points.
Yes, and I have to give it to Yux in the top lane. He has showed a dominant hand in being superior in his mechanics than the opposing top laner rather.
Yes.
And I think, ano yun kasi, yung reason din siguro kung bakit last split, medyo hindi siya nag-step up or parang hindi siya nag-shine is because, mostly yung kinukuha yung top laners were support or support-ish. Kaya in our top lane, you would more likely go for an our top lane as a initiator frontliner, diba? But now he's going in for those duelist type of supports and he is shining with it.
Yes.
You went for the Fiora and then going for the Irelia, which is working for him. Yeah. But nung nag-Irelia na siya, nung kanalaban niya yung Jax, nahirapan na siya na konti nag-level 6 yung Jax kasi ang sakit ng every third hit But still, nakikita mo na nabubuhay siya at hindi siya namamatay.
Yes,
especially with the help of Rebenga.
Ayan, so of course this is powered by, of course, ng ating partner, Booster C. Genius, of course, the official shotmate of Pro Gaming Series. Boost your focus, boost your game. So wag na natin patagal ito. Let's get into the drafting phase, mga kaibigan, as we're just waiting for our summoners to start the game. Let's go! NAGA Esports versus INFZ Esports.
Yes,
ayan, so tingnan natin. Ano kaya yung mga first bands natin dito, lalo pa we are on the 2016, a very erratic pre-season, nasa pre-season tayo, a very erratic phase pagdating sa League of Legends.
Experimental phase talaga.
Parang
sa pag-ibig, may experimental phase din kayo, diba?
Zed, target man, no?
Yes, most likely going to go against Daigo.
Against Daigo yan. Although, Zed is, parang sketchy pick siya ngayon kasi may buff sa Mercurial. So, lahat ng targets ni Zed, kung marksman ka, ganon, yung mga priority targets ni Zed, hindi magdadalawang isip na kumuha ka agad ng Mercurial. Kasi pag ni-rush mo yung Mercurial, walang masyadong mawawala sa'yo.
Yes.
So, I don't know about Zed, but yes, Dr. Mundo. It's a very viable ban.
Yeah, kasi looking into yung new items for AD players, there's a lot of good items that are more 1v1 centric.
Huh.
Like yung Moose Ghost Blade has been increased in its price cost, and then it got more AD as well as yung Phantom Dancer, which allows you to take a little bit less damage from the 12% reduced taking damage dun sa kanyang passive. Alright, so other than that, Zed, Dr. Mundo, Gangplank, two of the bans of Infused Esports are power picks.
Yes.
Mundo can be played in the jungle as well as in the top lane, especially with the Grasp of the Undying. Really makes him powerful pag nag-stack ka na ng HP, and then you're activating Sadism as well as if you get I think a Moth Malvortius or the Titanic Hydra.
Yeah, isama mo pa yung 11-pointer na Mastery Doll, yung Perseverance na buff up pa. Diba?
Pag yung low HP ka na, tumataas pa yung HP region mo.
Grabe.
Kakatakot. Parang brick wall siya. Na pag put na, magiging brick wall mo siya ulit.
Oo nga. Kung kailan mo pa i-burst, doon pa nagiging makunat.
Kaya nga.
Oh, wow. So, Brad. Okay, one of the most benefited champion ng Deathfire. Touch.
As well as I think Thunderlord's Decree.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Depending na lang siguro kung yung playstyle ni Daigo in the mid lane. So look, to finalize lang the bans, Annie, Irelia, and the Blocks. Irelia, looking at kanina Yux made him very strong against the Jax early on, and counterplays were very much in his favor. Annie, of course, very strong as well. Benefits as well from the masteries. All of their bans benefit from the masteries, and yung initiate power talaga ni Annie. Flash in Tiberston is I think kung tinanggal nila yung Tiberston, magiging walang kwenta yun. But then, it's still there, it's very effective, and people just don't want to deal with it. Kahit sa solo queue, yan yung pag nagbaban ako, Annie is always in my list talaga.
Yeah. And kapag hindi siya nakakaban, may mga games talaga nagiging disastrous pa rin dahil may Annie.
Yes. Alright, so looking into the picks of Infuse, looks like we're gonna have
Unbench the Kench.
Unbench the Kench and Rise the Faker. Or Faker the Rise. Rise the Faker.
Kung ano man yan, yung album na yan mula sa Worlds 2015.
Yes.
Diba? Popularized by, hindi na surpresa yan, Faker.
By the god himself. And looking into it, hindi lang to pwede maging top lane Kench. It could also be a flex pick that can go into the jungle side because Tom Kench has a pretty good ganking potential. Pag na-stack niya yung acquired taste niya, pag naging red na yung stacks na yun, he can devour and put you out of your tower's range.
And you don't have to build damage kay Tom Kench. Health lang talaga, sapat na.
Yes, that's true. Alright, so looking into it, it might be a Lucian pick here for Naga. So, kanina, medyo hindi... Never mind. Alright, so Misfortune pick, pretty strong kasi nga yung love tap niya.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a cooldown. You just have to keep changing your targets, and then the bonus damage is always there. Plus, yung safety ng kanyang harass with a double tap, itama mo lang na maayos sa initial creep, then patamayan mo siya sa gusto mo ilasita creep or sa champion. Nakita niya kanina, the Vayne.
Ikaw ba, pag nasa bottom lane ka, gusto mo bang nalalaptop ka? Ha? Natanong lang. I mean,
Siyempre, lonely ako eh.
Gusto mo, masakit kaya malaptop, di ba? Bonus damage nga eh.
Pero siyempre, ito sa naramdaman mo yung sakit ng pagmamahal niya.
Oh! Nice. Alright, so, moving on.
It looks like it's gonna be a top lane brand here for Naga Esports. Alright. So medyo nag-stray tayo sa pinagsabi natin ngayon.
Brand.
So looking into the composition of Naga Esports, wala silang masyadong frontline. But then, pag na-set up nila yung combo nila, which is, in my opinion, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Bagsak lang ni Brand yung kanyang Pillar of Flame and then his...
Cataclysm. Pyroclasm?
Pyroclasm, yeah. It's just gonna deal a lot of AoE damage with him not being exposed to the opponents.
Yeah. Ang hirap palapitan nito.
Yeah, but here's the case. And then they have the Azir as well with the Emperor's Divide. Is this gonna be a support brand? I think it will be. Never mind. Alright, so it's still... That's pretty painful.
Dark Horse.
Yeah, it's like going back to Season 2 before, or Season 3, na Pumandu was, pinasikat niya yung Zyra support. That was one of the first like AP type of supports na more on harass rather than being supportive.
Sumabay yung Annie support.
Yeah, sumabay yung Annie support.
Yung sa China, yung sa taga Royal Club.
Yes. But looking into it, I think that's the same thought process with the brand. And now, sabi ko kanina, wala silang frontliner. They have right now, that's going to be the Lee Sin as well as the Renekton. Renekton is a very strong lane bully.
Yeah.
And, okay, so it's going to be a top lane Jace here for Infused. So, ito na titignan natin. Kung sa 1v1 matchup ng dalawang to sa top lane, pag mali yung timing ni Jace with his knockback, Renekton will do a ton of damage onto that Jace.
As in, Renekton versus Jace, medyo sketchy para kay Jace.
Yeah, kasi ang problema din kasi kay Jace, in my opinion, pag gusto ni Jace i-maximize yung damage output niya, Shock Blast Acceleration Gate talaga yung habol niya eh. But then, how can you do it when Renekton is so fast with his slice and dice, diba? He can dodge that skill pretty easily.
Oo nga.
Right.
Yan.
Yeah.
Alam, buhaya tapos nag-gap close.
That's
Out
very
of context, mga kaibigan. And, nagtataka lang ako dito, bukas si Fiora. Hindi kinuha ng Naga, no?
Well, of course, syempre.
Last pick yung Renekton eh.
New flavor naman para.
New
Para
flavor.
medyo nagsasawa na tayo sa katingin sa Fiora plays. Kanina medyo nabigyan na tayo ni Yux
Nung magandang Fiora
I think
plays,
that was
no?
a 3v1,
Yeah.
2v1 sa top lane against
3v1 sana kasi umalis si Nip.
umalis si
2v1.
Nip. Pero at least, ano pa rin, low HP na siya nun and he still got the, na-activate niya yung SS niya as well as still being able to outplay his opponent in the top lane, diba? The Riven.
Yeah.
Alright, so looking into the mid lane, it looks like mahaharas ni Daigo. It says Go Dai, but it's Daigo, people. Ang si Toinks in the mid lane because of the range advantage na meron si Azir.
Yeah.
You do have, of course, the soldiers as well as, again, superior range.
Yeah.
And then pag pumasok si Toinks, there's always the, pag level 6 na, you always have the Emperor's Divide unless mag-flash over siya. But then it's kind of hard to flash over the Emperor's Divide kasi pag mali yung timing mo or mali yung positioning mo, natutulak ka pa rin ng Emperor's Divide away eh.
Mahagip ka lang nung gwardiya dun. Oops, labas ka dito. Wala kang ID.
That's true. Also guys, yung reason din pala kung bakit other top laners are opting or kumukuha na sila ng Ignite is because wala nang nakukuhang reduced cooldown sa teleport. Pag nag-teleport ka sa turret, 5 minutes flat talaga siya.
Yeah.
So
Though yung playstyle naman sa teleport, hindi naman talaga usually sa Torre ginagawa.
Yeah, of course. Sabi ko lang na to kasi minsan...
Well, nerf nga. Nerf,
kasi di ba nga dati ang play natin para hindi tayo mawalan ng CS.
Oo nga.
Kasi is mag-recall na maaga. Ngayon,
Level 2.
Yeah,
Kunin mo yung
level
level 2 tapos recall na maaga.
O diba? Nawawalan na yung ganong klaseng style kasi nasasayang mo yung 5 minutes na yun. Pag after ng 5 minutes, 7 minutes into the game na, baka may nangyari ng kailangan ka mag-teleport sa ibang part ng mapa, diba?
Yeah. Tapos, ang gagawin mo na lang, Edge, instead of getting the level 2 advantage, lagyan mo ng Ignite.
And, ang titignan natin, sinabi ko na kanina, Renekton is a lane bully. Meaning that, if he has the Ignite, tumataas ang kill potential niya against the Jace. So makikita natin ngayon that I would think that Akarin, the least of NAGA Esports, would try to go for an aggressive gank onto Gertrude. Kasi pag nagkaroon sila ng, I think, kahit level 3 yung Renekton, tapos level 2 lang si Akarin with the red buff, is either maka-flash, makataka si Gertrude burning his flash, or makakuha sila ng instant first blood.
And, Akarin is skill. Diba?
Yeah.
Very well-known Lee Sin player.
Yes, of course.
As in, comfort picks na yan si Lee Sin. So let's see kung hindi pa pumurol. I find Lee Sin strong ngayon eh.
Yes.
Sa 2016. Probably with the itemizations na meron siya. Lalo pa, mga items ngayon talaga pang bakbakan eh, pang rambulan, diba? As in, binigyan nga tayo ng damage this 2016 preseason.
Alright, so we've talked about the top lane, we've talked about the mid lane, talked about the bottom lane. So Tristana, nawala na ang kanyang reduce cooldown on your, think it was yung rocket jump niya from the Q pag naka-activate siya. Is that correct? Hindi pala. Sa Q niya, pag natamaan ng explosive charge, nawala na yun. But, pag na-max niya yung limit na explosive charge sa isang target, mag-i-instant cooldown ang kanyang rocket jump. So, ibig sabihin nito, mas matalon ngayon si Tristana.
Pala. Panay aggressive na talon yung mga nakikita sa mga Tristana ngayon.
Yes. Ang support niya ngayon is Tom Kench, which is, of course, we know, unbench the Kench, always devour your ADR if she is in a rough spot.
Yeah.
But ang kalaban niya ngayon is a Misfortune who has a free harass with the double tap. So, anong gagawin niya dito? Pag tumama yung double tap, palagi siya magde-devour, mataas ang cooldown ng devour, diba? So,
at di mo magamit.
yung mga gamit palagi. And may brand pa sila na super aggressive. And I think, ang pinili niya ngayon sa kanyang Masteries is the one that every 3 seconds, I think, gives you 3% of your max mana. So, magsaspam siya na magsaspam, and then he won't run out of mana that quickly.
Keystone?
Yeah, Keystone.
Yung may mana?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a possibility. Kasi, you won't go for a utility-based, actually, it's a utility-based brand, but it's still harass type, di ba?
Ang kukunin ni Keystone yung brand dito?
Yeah, there's yung second tier keystone.
At second year, yung
Yeah.
11-pointer.
Yeah, 11
yung
pointer.
11-pointer na mastery. Oo, yun.
Yeah.
Yung mana nun, ang taas talaga.
So that will be able to, di ba, gets mo na,
Oo.
na pag kinuha niya to, mas mana yung harass type niya
Oo,
against this,
oo.
this easy to harass
Kasi,
composition.
yun yung 11-pointer. Kasi kung sa keystone, dalawa lang yun eh. It's
Yeah,
either Deathfire or
Yeah, sorry,
Thunderlords.
mali pa yung kasabi ko. That was my bad people. Kasi
Oo.
inisip ko rin na keystone yung 11 pointer.
Ay, sino ba naman hindi makaka-ignore ng keystones ngayon, no? Yun yung
Yeah.
definition eh. I was requesting nga, Riot please, Rito please, sa replay, sana makita
Yeah.
natin yung keystone nila. Kasi ang laki ng influence eh, ng keystone
Yes.
sa playstyle, sa game, di ba? Yun.
Yes, of course. Alright, so looking into it again, wala ding form of sustain ang Tristana as well as the Tahm Kench. Unless, ang Tahm Kench ay kumuha ng Targon Brace, or sorry, Relic Shield rather. But, after nang mawala ng orbs na yon, wala na silang way para makakuha ng HP unless maka-auto-attack ng libre si Tristana sa mga creeps at magamit niya yung kanyang Doran's Blade
Oo.
and Masters if ever kinuha niya yung 2% lifesteal. Pero, mahirap pa rin to kasi nag-dish pa rin ang damage reduction at that point. So we'll have to see what happens. So now guys, welcome to the Summoner's Rift. This is match 2 in its best of 2 series.
Yes.
This is the Pro Gaming Series 2016 Spring Split match between Infused Esports versus NAGA Esports. So now let's check the blue side. That'll be the blue team in the top lane. It's gonna be Infused Gertrude with the Jace. First time that I'll see that in a long time. In the jungle, it's gonna be Hechiza with the Gragas. In the mid lane, it's gonna be Toinks with the Rise. In the duo bottom lane, we have, of course, JRM with the Tristana, and his support will be a kill on the Tahm Kench.
Okay, meanwhile, on the right side, we have NAGA Esports for the top lane. It will be Suzaku and Renekton. In the jungle, it's Akarain on Saitama. In the mid lane, we have Godai on Nazir. And for the bottom duo, we have Luxuria on the Misfortune, Indigeri, and Badger on the brand support.
I like that, Saitama. One Punch Man.
Kanina di ba? Knockout listen yata kanina.
Ano?
Saitama, eh.
So,
Mamaya. One punch yan.
Baka mag-roleplay siya dito, kumuha siya ng puro burst items.
Ano yan?
80 items.
One hit delete. The running joke. Only
Yeah, of
Saitama.
course, I think madami sa mga viewers natin na the One Punch Man.
Would recommend, no? Would highly recommend. Pagkatapos nyo manood ng PGS, ayan, di ba?
Yeah.
Sa pool. Ipalag nyo yung buong iCafe nyo. And guys, mga viewers natin, esports.garena.ph/stream. Nako, meron pa tayong maraming prizes na ipamimigay for this game. We still have the skin codes for our match and win promo. It's either Academy skins. Okay, set of Academy skins yan, mga friend. Hindi lang yan isang skin. Nako, bundle yan, bundle.
Yes.
Tsaka project skins.
Of course. And again, guys, this game has been brought to you by Booster C, the official shotmate of the Pro Gaming Series. Booster C Genius, boost your focus. As you can see there, boost your game.
Grabe, kung kailangan nyo ng matinding shot, yan. So, naglaro ako niyan, isang shot kada isang laro.
Grabe. Medyo na yun kasi one shot is
one coffee.
one coffee. So medyo, pag hindi ka
Caffeine
accustomed,
tolerant. Oo, yan.
kasi I think na-try ko na ito dati yun. It made me feel a little bit uneasy.
Ako pag nilagay mo akong gripo, kape lalabas yan. So, of course,
Hindi natugo.
sa mga hindi pa kasali sa ating community, we have the official community for the Pro Gaming Series, PGS Rift.
Yes, of course, that is www.facebook.com/PGS Rift. If you want to join our Facebook group, minsan, or actually, most of the time right now, we are hosting custom games with the Rifters.
Yeah, kanina lang.
Oh, yeah.
Diba?
Medyo naiyak ako doon. Asya pala ng Quinn, top lane. Medyo, bilis niya mag-roam.
Yes. Siyempre, yung ating TalkTalk, yan. Pwede kayo
of
mag
course.
DJ dyan, kasama yung mga malulupit nating admins, GMs, pro players, GS, lahat-lahat na. Diba? At siyempre, yung mga members, yung mga Rifters and Kaporo natin dyan.
Yes.
Ang dami ring content creators na nandyan. Yan, ano talaga yan.
Dami ko na nakikitang gumagawa ng videos as well as artwork.
Yeah, and interact, diba?
Yeah.
Oo, ang problema lang dyan, medyo one-way ticket lang yan. Papunta dun sa Black Center. So, ayan, galisin na lang natin. Okay, let's be civil about stuff because all the more na mas maayos ka, civilized ka, mas marami kang makukuhang good stuff. Diba?
Yes, of course.
Look at Saitama.
Alright, looking dun sa...
Saitama.
Yeah, I was gonna actually say good thing for Badger. He's sporting the new brand skin. Para sa nakita ko na yung particles niya in the pro game.
Yeah,
the
that
Spirit
is...
Fire brand?
Yeah?
I think so, yes.
Oh, Spirit Fire brand.
can actually check as it's paused right now.
Ayan.
Alright, so again guys, kung hindi nyo pa nababasa ang patch notes or kung ngayon pa lang kayo maglalaro League of Legends after the game, minions now spawn at 1:15.
Yup.
So you have to be careful with that.
Oo. So, shout out sa mga late pumasok sa klase dyan ha. Mahiya naman kayo sa mga minions natin. Okay?
Yes.
Agahan nyo naman, di ba? Dapat mas ganado tayo araw-araw. Pati yung mga neutral camp, mas maaga ngayon eh. 1 minute 40 seconds ang labas ang mga neutral camps natin. So, all the more reason to leash your jungler. Hindi ka mali-delay sa lane mo.
Yes. But it looks like it's going to be a swap lane here coming in, initiated rather by NAGA Esports. So they really want to actually catch off Tristana. They read that, if not perfectly, they were hoping to either out-harass the Jace or alam nila na gagawin ng INFZ Esports ang lane swap. Kasi nga, nandun yung bully potential talaga ng Misfortune and Brand against this composition. Kasi nga, ang safety lang na meron din si Tristana is the default tank edge and napakalaki na cooldown on level 1 or rather earlier levels.
Yeah, though malambot ang Brad, ha? As in, napaka-risky lang. Although I don't see JR and focusing this brand alone. Instead, ang mukhang may footing ngayon dito is, yun nga, yung sinabi mo nga, NAGA Esports with the double up and yan, mga skills ni Brown.
Yeah.
Ay, ni Brand.
Kasi nga, it is the range advantage. And looking into this, Suzaku, again, lane bully Renekton. Dapat may ano tayo dyan eh, parang school team icon na skins na si Renekton bully.
Lane swap yung ano.
Yeah.
Lane swap yung... Ay, mas gusto ko ano.
Crocodile skin
Medyo
Renekton.
medyo Kotong Renekton.
Kotong Renekton.
Corrupted. Kasi buhaya, di ba? May magka-politika. Anyway.
Alright.
I mean, napansin ko lang, hindi na-mitigate yung lane swap dito, no?
Yeah.
Parang nilalayo sana si Jace against Renekton, di ba? Pero hindi napigilan. Yun yung consequence din ng early spawn ng minion eh.
Yes.
Hindi ka makarotate ng maayos ngayon sa mapa eh. Di ba?
Yeah.
If you, like, on the fly, pull off a lane swap. Kasi ang konti yung beating time.
Yeah, and ang problem kasi, pag nag-teleport ka sa top lane para mag-respond, if ever man gusto mo mag-lane swap immediately, ang problema nun, pag naharas ka na ng 2v1 situation, pag nag-recall ka, lalakad ka pa pabalik sa lane mo and you're wasting precious time na you could use for farming the minions.
Yeah, time is precious.
Yeah, and look at this. Actually, medyo may tamang pagka-timing ang ginawa ng NAGA dito. But look at this right now.
Okay. Ay, tama pre! Person! I misfortune.
Yeah. Alright. So, going into the clash, I liked what NAGA did kasi alam na nila na nagkaroon na ng wave para makuha si Gertrude. But then, alam nila na wala siyang escape mechanism.
Ganda ng ginawa ng NAGA, no?
Yeah. Alam nila wala siyang escape mechanism and madaming creeps. So, napakadali na magkaroon ng isang tower dive.
Yeah.
Ginawa nila agad to. Good rotation coming in from NAGA. And INFZ Esports, medyo na-exploit sila doon.
Yeah.
Na parang read like a book ang ginawa ng NAGA doon.
Di ba respond ng maayos doon, even Gragas. We have to take note that Gragas is also a good early game jungler.
Yes.
Hindi niya nasabayan si Lee Sin doon.
And looking into this right now, 2v1 situation, pag pinag-compare natin, Suzaku has a better time in his 2v1 than Gertrude because of how
Tanky
Renekton is. And hindi ganun ka-bully si Tristana and Akil. Yeah. Kasi Renekton can just, again, slice and dice away.
Yeah.
And while that is happening, Rift Herald will be taken 5 minutes into the game. And that will just increase the pushing potential of NAGA Esports. They can actually do this. Naka-open na yung top lane. They can rotate to the bottom lane, maybe do a 4-man push.
Yeah.
Wala kasi magagawa dito ang INFZ Esports.
I was thinking na NAGA Esports was going to give that viral stuff kay Misfortune and force to destroy this top lane. Kasi
actually,
ay, basag na pala.
Basag siya
na pala.
Yeah, sabi ko na.
Babahin kaya pala. Oh,
Yeah, so they can rotate into the bottom lane as a 4-man group.
Yeah.
And wala dito magagawa ang Infuse kasi madali sila makaka-catch off. May stun si Brand, may slow si Misfortune as well as Lee Sin, and then may stun again pala si Renekton. So much good potential.
Yeah.
And then after they get the bot tier 1, that's an immediate rotate into the Dragon. And then again, medyo may pagka-passive play sana ng INFZ Esports because I don't know, maybe they're tilting right now because they can't out-harass or out-aggress yung NAGA Esports.
Oh, pero baka hindi pa naman kasi 5 minutes pa lang para mag-deal. 1-1 right now.
Magsimula din sa akin yun.
Yeah. Infuse Esports managed to get that kill on the plant. Now here comes Akaray flashing off. Will he manage this case? Infuse Esports in for some flash out! 2 flash burn mula sa side ng Infuse Esports, but still they're willing to get a team fight. Luxuria dishing out some damage. And as usual, medyo aggressive doon, no? I mean, they have no flash. Andun pa yung mid tsaka ADR.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, so bad. Force a flash out mula kay Azir. Toinks. Oh, B flashing in. Yes, no? Nag-flash na pala siya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so that's one. I have to give it to, I have to give it to Infuse. Medyo may outposition doon. Actually, outposition talaga. Si Badger. He was
si
not...
Ang lambot niya.
Yeah, of course, high damage output. Very squishy. Oh, wait.
Nice!
Never mind! It's gonna go down.
That flash.
Yeah. And walang mana doon si Tristana to do the rocket jump away. And she had to use everything she had to keep her teammates alive as well as her nung part na nahuli nila si Badger dun sa bottom lane din.
Right, so you have to take note, wala pang ano dito. Ultimate, si Badger.
Yeah, that's true.
Pero, talagang nag-scale and napapakita talaga yung advantage ng isang support brand. Right? I mean, yung early game damage na pwede niyang i-dish out. Lumalabas talaga dito.
And looking into it right now, the strategy that Infuse are looking for is the slow, methodical control play. Because medyo may pagka-late game ang composition nila with the Rise and Tristana at some point. And then again, hindi ganun ka-aggressive ang kanilang composition. Yes, there's the Gragas, but then hindi ko pa siya nakikita nagga-gank sa ibang lanes. Naging more of dun sa bottom lane, naging reactive lang siya. Ang nagsimula actually talaga nun is a kill and JRM, just catching Badger off guard. And then sa mid lane, nag-respond si Daigo first and then sumunod si Toinks.
I like how NAGA Esports is being very aggressive in this game, no?
Yeah, kasi yung composition nila lets them to be that because meron silang Lee Sin and then his lane partners are all for complementing his ganking. May stun sa top lane, may Surima shuffle sa mid lane. Still possible naman yung kahit wala na yung collision with the E, I think, yes. There's also, again, the stun and slow in the bottom lane.
The big problem here is, when it comes to team fights, napaka-tricky para sa NAGA. Early game, early game. Pwede talaga silang mag-snowball ng dominance in the early game.
Yes.
The problem is walang teleport si Renekton. And without Renekton, 4 members are very squishy.
Yes. But you have to look as well, again,
for NAGA.
They can't opt not to go for it because they have the disengage and they can just poke. Azir has high poke potential. And nakita mo na, di ba? Yung range lang dito na Infuse Esports is the Jace for the long range poke.
Yun yung fatal mistake na pwedeng i-capitalize ng Infuse Esports.
That's true.
Wherein NAGA, with their very aggressive composition, makipaglaban sila. Tapos nakaligtaan nila na walang teleport yung kanilang Renekton. But the problem is, kung sino ay may teleport, that is Jace, which is now out of the equation for now. Okay? After getting killed, tapos yan nga, yung CS lead ni Renekton, grabe, 61 to 34.
I would doubt though na Jace would want to do a teleport play because pag lumabas siya sa ganyan na items niya, goodbye, baby. And
para kang nanligaw na wala kang dalang
bulaklak.
Bulaklak, t-shirt,
Chocolate.
sando lang yung dalang. Kumatok ka lang.
Yung meron kang t-shirt pero naka-tuxedo yung print niya. Yun lang yun.
Ganun lang, walang plano.
So, the way for Infuse Esports here to get a kill is... get a kill. Alright, medyo corny. Is kung nag-level 6 na ultimate si Tamkench or mag-catch off with the explosive cask si Gragas. Alright.
Maganda rin yung explosive cast for isolating and allow JRM to execute members of NAGA Esports one by one.
Yes, but the problem with that is NAGA are actually putting wards around the lane that they know is susceptible to the ganks. Most likely going to be the bottom lane because sa top lane, medyo mahirap patayin si Renekton in my opinion because he does have the dominance, the insta HP, as well as the AoE kasi lahat ng papatay sa kanya sa top lane kung Jace at Gragas would be in melee range. So they're taking a lot of damage, especially with that Yamat. And yes, before I do stop that, Yamat pala guys, auto-attack niya, wala na siyang AoE. But you have to activate it.
Kailangan activate. I-spam yung Crescent. Now, NAGA Esports stage is dragon over a ward and no contest mula sa Infuse Esports. Wow.
Because they can't. There's just too much power right now from NAGA.
Surprise damage. And makikita mo, normal hit lang talaga yung dragon. Talagang sinisave nila anyone who dare to get in.
Yeah, and Badger here getting caught out a little bit. Doesn't get the stun onto JRM.
This is so bad for Badger. The needs Okay, landed by Tristana. That's one pick onto Badger.
Yeah, and it looks like medyo caught off guard si Akarain, but he can just ward jump over the wall if he needs to. But it looks like they want to engage onto Hechiro here. There's a few soldiers from Daigo just gonna say hi, hello.
And that's too risky. I mean,
Yeah.
Rise and that explosive cast mula kay Gragas could burst one target alone.
Yes. And yun nga yung sabi natin, conditions for Infuse to get the pick. And yung nangyayari kay Badger, it just happens. That's the second time he got off. I think, he has to be a bit more passive in his warding. Kasi I think he just wanted to ward the mid, that river side. But the problema doon is that JRM is a freebie harasser to him.
Yeah.
Pag hindi nag-connect ang skills ni Badger,
Yeah, yun nga eh.
hindi masistance o makakapatake ng damage si JRM.
Mad props for JRM confidently jumping in to Badger.
Yeah.
Tapos alam niya na maiwasan mo lang yung Sir. Okay ka.
Yeah.
So why not jumping onto a Brand?
That's true. That's very true.
Plus, kanina yan, Brand has no level 6. Okay, wala pang ultimate so hindi talaga mo burst dito si Tristana.
Yes. Of course, nandun naman din si Luxuria, but I haven't seen Luxuria help his teammate kasi palagi nakaharang si Akil. Na pag tinaray na pumasok ni Luxuria, makakapuno ng stacks na acquired case si Akil and then baka mabigay pa yung kill kay JRM. So, just give the one kill, play safe, no need to do anything because Daigo is wrecking points again with the range advantage. And again, top lane, Suzaku, the lane bull Renekton is proving to be worth it as a pick for them. And it looks like Akarain wants to add to the pressure of that Renekton, knowing that Hechizo here might do a gank. And Akarain knows this, nakita niya na, hindi niya lang ginagawa.
Okay. So, I mean, the rotation ni Daigo and Brand over the top lane gets spotted by the ward. Grabe, Daigo rush that outer mid lane turret.
And I don't think naman na, mananalo si JRM pag nakipag 1v1 siya kay Luxuria right now. So they're okay with leaving this Badger.
We initiate onto Suzaku Akarain now, onto 4 members dito na NAGA Esports. There's the signal to fall back. It's only Brand that is there. And that is an explosive cast. Displacing Lee 2 kills in the hands of Infuse Esports. Yes. Miscommunication.
And again, sinabi ko ito kanina, Abyssal Voyage is one of the conditions that they can use in order to get the pick. Medyo naging cocky na NAGA. They thought na si Gertrude lang na naman ang nasa top lane with Hechizo, but then, surprise, surprise! Dito na yung members, or 4 members ng Infuse Esports.
And miscalculation din para sa side dito ng Infuse Esports. Hindi nila mailagay ng mabuti yung damage na nabuo nila over the early game. Badger, this is a level 4 brand. Make that a level 5 just right now. Medyo matagal-tagal pa bago mag-level 6. And with this kind of rotation that Infuse is pulling up, kailangan makapa-level 6 si Brand to stop this grouping up, itong pag-group up ng Infuse Esports.
Yes,
with that Pyroclasm.
But you also have to note na support Brand din to. So his AP scaling or his AP is not as good as what you would do a mid-lane Brand. But still the damage is possibly there naman.
Yeah, though Luxuria now is becoming a monster, no?
Yeah.
Captain Misfortune, if you look at it.
He's probably going to get an Essence Reaver right about now. And it's not bad. It's pretty good with the Misfortune. Pag nag-crit siya, it just gives you more. And Misfortune, in my opinion, is a caster. Or,
caster.
Yeah, of course, caster.
Yun yung target sa kanya for this pre-season.
And yun talaga yung yung strength ngayon ng mga caster ADCs. They can either opt for the Trinity Force or the Essence Reaver. Depending on what caster, kung ano mas maganda.
I was wondering how does Varus stand in this pre-season. Mga napag-iwanan yata.
We'll see. We might see something.
Kasi ang ganda ng Essence Reaver and isa sa mga key items na yun ni Varus dati pa, di ba?
Yes.
So, right now, we can see that NAGA Esports, even though nawala yung lead nila in terms of guild, they have a sizable lead in terms of gold. Coming in mula kay Daigo.
As well as the 3-0 in terms of the turrets.
Yeah. Wow, that 3 turrets.
Yes.
Okay. Medyo alanganin even the Dragon in hands of NAGA Esports.
Look at the damage.
1 minute 5 seconds bago lumabas itong ating Dragon. We could see
nice steal by Akarain.
Esports. Wow,
Yes,
losing their net.
That's the power of Saitama, Akala mo wala siya doon, pero nandun na pala siya. Yung kapangyarihan niya.
Nag-grocery lang.
Nag-grocery lang pala. Kaya sinampal yung seaweed monster. Okay, masyado na tayong
Fanboys. Anyway.
fanboys.
Yan, so 45 seconds bago lumabas itong ating Dragon, and you can see Infuse Esports try to regain some footage here on the red side jungle, whereas NAGA Esports doesn't feel the need to rotate over the bottom lane. They're going for this top lane.
I like this right now. They're gonna go in on to Gertrude and
May teleport na manggagaling mula sa mid laner dito ng Infuse Esports. Will Rise, no, he canceled it. And 3 members of Infuse of NAGA Esports will collapse on over this top lane, leaving Luxuria and Badger over the bottom lane. The Dragon will spawn in 15 seconds. And right now, nalilitong Infuse Esports.
Yeah.
Anong objective ang pupuntahan?
alright, so looking into it right now, sinabi ko ngayon kanina na Infuse Esports has the ability to use the Abyssal Voice para magkaroon ng parang mas madaming numbers advantage in a lane. But the problem with this right now is, pag ginawa nila yun, pwedeng mag-push sa ibang lane si Luxuria. He has the power for it. But it might get caught out right here. There's a slow on the Badger. That's some damage on him.
Oh, nice flash. There's also the Seer, but the exhaust on Infuse. Badge will go down. 3 members of Infuse Esports are here to take on that team fight. Now, NAGA Esports, after that skirmish in the top lane, do they have the weapons to fight this one? No, they won't. That is a 2-man explosive gas. The sticks go back. Green for NAGA Esports. Oh, Infuse Esports, may Dragon, mga meng. Dragon, uy. Ay, hindi. We'll go for the top lane.
Huwag ka magalit.
Hindi, may top lane kasi pala. Puntaan natin si Dago. 3 will take Dragon for this one. No, mukhang yun, masag yung Thor. Grabe si Dago, galit-galit dito sa pinapalaki yung kanyang empire.
Alright, just looking into it, NAGA Esports, I feel, because they look, okay, they're gonna go in for Gertrude here. Daigo looking like he wants the blood. There's one more auto attack, and he will be giving himself a killing spree, as a kill is
Late for the party.
Late for the party. Alright, so back into it. I just think that it's NAGA being a new team right now because nga nagbago yung roster nila. They might have little experience on how to communicate with the information about teleport and kung nagre-respond yung kalaban. Kasi, syempre, nakikita mo naman sa UI mo, pero nagko-concentrate ka rin sa kalaban mo, so baka hindi mo nahalata, diba?
Yeah.
And maybe that was the miscommunication that NAGA did, kaya it allowed Infuse Esports para rak-rakin sila sa bottom lane.
Yes. And Badger has to gauge his vulnerability. Ang only assurance na meron siya is Flash and that Seer. And nakita naman kanina dun sa Tampions, it's not enough.
Yes.
Diba? Yung Seer na yun. So, Badger has to play a little bit safe. Okay, pwede naman diba?
That's true, of course.
And right now, the Dragon, okay, so 1-for-1 pagdating sa Dragon. And
It looks
no
like,
turret yet for Infuse Esports.
It looks like NAGA wants to siege right now, but it's pretty dangerous because napakadaming ways para i-deliver ang isang member ng NAGA sa kamay ng Infuse. But JRM is in a bad position right now. He will get caught out.
Oh, they have the tank in as JRM being in bad position. Shot down, snipe dito ni Gertrude. Antigo na ako! Babawi ako! Infuse Exiso gets the execute onto Saitama. Now, there's the bullet time mula kay Miss Fortune. Luxuria, Badger will run for their life. Badger, oh my God! And yeah, that's the squishiness. Yun yung problem sa squishiness ngayon.
Yeah, it was, in my opinion, a bit forceful of NAGA to try and do that. They didn't have the they had the composition to do a fast push, but the problem is, again, napakadaling pasukin ng Infuse Esports ang composition nila kasi kahit may frontliners sila, ang means of disengage nila is kinda sketchy to do. Yeah, pag nahuli sila, instant combo lang ng Infuse Esports. Hasta la vista, baby ka na.
Yeah, they have the means to target one person down. They have the damage, they still have the asset. Pero instead, they're taking on team fights. And right now, with the timing composition na meron yung Infuse Esports, manage dito ang Infuse Esports. If this keeps on going, yung mga ganitong classic team fights, it will be no time makakabawi in terms of gold.
Yeah.
Itong Infuse Esports. Kasi Torre lang to yung gold dito ng NAGA.
Yeah. Also, I have to recommend JRM. Kasi kahit man, medyo may pagka-rambo yung kanyang playstyle na papasok siya with the rocket jump. And kahit naman this is actually the second time he just died. 5 kills siya sa testana niya. 4 kills more than what Luxuria had. And his CS is on par with Luxuria. Yeah. So nag-skill pa rin siya.
And I believe, kayang habulin to ni Tristana. May explosive pa rin si Tristana,
yeah,
diba?
And he's actually ahead in terms of the goal against Luxuria.
Kasi may assist din. 5-4.
Yeah.
Whereas Luxuria, 1 kill lang, diba? 1-3. Ayan.
And medyo hindi ko magana ngayon ang caster style Misfortune kasi yung bullet time niya, nahalata ako, tumatama lang palagi sa top catch.
Yeah, and the problem here is that
may gray health sa top catch eh, nalagay ni shield eh.
And the problem, oh my God! but Bobby Slam also the explosive gas. And just like that, we want it delete, pero may bullet time dito. And a shutdown of the Pumpkins. Ariel happened to be. Luxuria will destroy this mid lane inhibitor turret, and that is an ace for NAGA Esports. Damage over health, health over damage. Ladies and gentlemen, what an explosive clash in a blink of an eye. Executed there.
Grabe.
By NAGA Esports and Infuse Esports.
Sinabi ko lang na tumatama lang kay Tomkins yung bullet time, minali agad ako ni Luxuria. Man, narinig ba na tayo sa stream or something?
Oh, sulit na sulit lahat yata ng ultimates doon.
Yeah.
Bodies lang biglagas tapos explosive gas kasi yung bullet time.
Alright, so
Replay mga kaibigan, wow.
Let's look at the replay. Sino ba yung nahuli nila? It's gonna be Daigo, Suzaku, and Badger. Actually, si Daigo hindi siya nahuli. It's for the cast. And nasa backend sila parehas. Instant unload of all your AoE skills. Ano ang magagawa ng Infuse Esports? Kahit man malaki HP nila, what can you do when you have that much shred? And guys, nga pala nakalimutan ko sabihin, ang bullet time ni Miss Fortune can crit.
Yeah.
So kung meron kang crit item like Essence River and Zeal, it can still damage more than it's supposed to be.
Yun na yun. Tatlo yung naka-receive ng explosive gas. Kaso 4 yung naka-receive ng bullet. Jungler yun, jungler.
Hindi siya equivalent exchange.
Yeah, hindi siya equal exchange. Ang ganda na sana nung setup. Pero wow, the counterplay from Miss Fortune. Napaka-unfortunate.
Yeah. And that just shows the power of the control mage, which is the Azir. Because of his Emperor's Divide, nagkaroon ng mas... sa kay Emperor's Divide, kahit sabihin natin, tumama na siya sa minimal members ng Infused, nagkaroon pa rin ng temporary wall na dapat ikutan ng members ng Infused. Wala namang pwedeng kumikot sa unless na ma-Abyssal Voyage sila. Pero maka-cancel agad yung Abyssal Voyage dahil gumagana yung bullet time as well as auto-attack ng Sand Soldiers na Azir.
Yeah, ang nagtataka ako, ba't hindi tumalsik si Daigo? Or tumalsik siguro sa wall, napigilan?
I think tumalsik siya pakaliwa sa wall. Hindi siya tumalsik papunta sa teammates. So, it was a nice try by Hechizo. I think pag nahuli nila si Daigo, it was just sheer luck siguro. Or maganda talaga yung position ni Daigo there.
And kung sinadya yun ni Daigo, it's amazing, no? Having that kind of mechanic.
Grabe.
To face away from the explosive cast.
Pag nakita ko si Daigo, magbabawa ko sa harapan niya. Teach me senpai.
One of the most mechanically gifted players na makikita mo dito sa pro
tatandaan
gaming
ko pa yung mga
series.
Yasuo plays niya before.
Yeah, the guy with the amazing hair, di ba? Mas ayaw pa magpakita ng mukha. Nice talaga makita.
Yeah. The shy and strong type.
And so, second dragon of the game. Feeling secured! But, NAGA Esports yes they can, but si Zach gets punch with 2 members here.
Oh no,
Three members of Infuse Esports, but Toinks will go down and
nice
hit the
explosive
flat
gas.
There's Saitama mga kaibigan. Ayan, galit-galit Luxuria.
Bullet time!
Bullet time mga kaibigan. No, double up. Shutdown. Hondu, Tamken,
sorry,
3
double
members
up rather.
shutdown for Infuse Esports. The Baron is up, but they will take on this mid lane inhibitor. Let's see. Yeah,
Alright.
there's a call for Baron.
So, nung sa Dragon Era na yun, Toinks immediately got deleted from the fight. So, nawala na isa sa mga machine gun damage dealers nila. And kahit man maganda yung explosive cast na stop yung bullet time ng Luxuria, wala na silang magagawa kasi hindi nila kaya mag-fight pa. Handang-handa pa ang NAGA. Sinusundan lang sila.
I love how NAGA is bringing so much damage into this game. Like, may, alam mo yun, parang napaka-action pack yung composition na to. Diba?
Yes.
And wala yung tanki eh. I mean, may Renekton. Pero, di ba, parang Renekton is somewhat medyo action star din ng champion, di ba?
And you have to note din kasi, yung build path ni Badger, his first major item rather, he went for the Rylai's Crystal Scepter. So kung yari, nag-pyroclasm siya sa 5 members ng Infuse Esports, hindi lang siya nag-take ng damage, nagkukuha lang sila ng refreshing slow.
Yeah.
That means na mas mahihirapan pa silang pumasok sa composition ng NAGA Esports. And ang NAGA, may control mage sila ni Azir na naglabas na siya ng Emperor's Divide, mas mahihirapan sila pumasok. And this is being a thorn in the side of Infuse Esports as to why NAGA right now is 10K ahead of Infuse Esports.
And etong misfortune na to, walang assassin ng NAGA. Ay, walang assassin ng Infuse Esports.
Yeah.
To execute this misfortune. Yun yung problema. Right now, one key for Infuse Esports is to outmaneuver. Outmaneuver NAGA Esports, teleport and back, Abyssal Voyage on the back, may dala-dalang baon para mapatay ka agad si Misfortune because if they cannot check his misfortune, it will be Beneman.
Yeah.
All team fights will go bad
Problema
for
talaga kasi ngayon is that she's so well protected.
Oh.
And kahit man frontliner si Renekton, he deals good damage.
Yeah.
So, anong problemahin mo ngayon? Misfortune in the backline, Renekton in the frontline, or Azir in the midline?
Paano mo i-outmaneuver yung isang team na may Renekton na humahabol sa'yo, diba?
Yes, exactly.
And so, 16-15 mga kaibigan. If you look into the kill, it's looking quite fair, pero makikita natin sa group team is NAGA Esports, okay?
Yeah, it's just because of the
So much damage.
7-3 thing
Yeah,
against
grabe.
Infused.
Oh.
And Two of the Dragons, of course, that's gonna allow them to get turrets down faster. And yung Riffel, I think, it went, no early game, it went into the hands of NAGA Esports more than Infused.
Nakakamiss no na bumalik ulit si Miss Fortune sa meta. I mean,
Yeah.
mga season 2 yata yun.
Ang tagal na no?
Bulan na, man.
It's been a long time.
Without you, my friend. And so, 16-15, 1 minutes into the game. We look into the itemization. NAGA Esports now is taking condition out.
Oh, Suzaku!
Ayun na naman, bulan time sa backline!
Shurima Shuffle!
Shurima Shuffle, mga kaibigan! And 3 members dito, make that an ace! Hit the base! But with Fuse Esports as NAGA Esports, inilabas na rin ang kanilang mga bashing. The champion masteries then collapse on the first Nexus Star and make that the second Nexus Star. Without wasting any time, they will take on this Nexus and secure the first victory 1 more minutes into the game against Fuse Esports. What a beautiful, beautiful game.
That was a dominant performance by
NAGA.
NAGA Esports. I have to give it their ban and pick phase was good. It allowed them to dictate.
Ganda ng laro.
Yeah, inallow ng ban and pick phase nila para i-dictate kung ano ang magiging playstyle ng Infuse Esports. And Infuse Esports should not have played into it. Kasi simula pa lang, Gertrude was in a bad spot. Nag-teleport sa top lane para i-counter yung 2v2 in the top lane.
Yeah.
Bigla siyang tiniri-v1. He got wiped off the map and
Yeah.
gave a first blood to, I think, Misfortune. Yes. So, I think that started it all. There was times wherein Badger was the one who getting caught out of NAGA, but then, out of position lang siya noon. Pag nagkaroon na ng clash, ano talaga, bakbakan na talaga, NAGA Esports going to the top.
Garena NAGA, boost talaga kaagad. Grabe,
Yes.
ang ganda. Nakakatawa. Lalo pa yung mga bullet time ni Fortune, ma-hype ka talaga.
Yeah.
Ayan. May laptop nga, kung sa laptop. Ayan, so...
Yes.
Looking into our end game screen natin, makikita natin big performance here by Akarane, okay? That 12 assist mula sa Lee Sin niya in the
Yes.
early game. Pero yan, Luxuria, 618, no? Actually, hindi ganun kataas yung KDAs dito kasi ang bilis natapos yung laro. Pero what actually secures us much of the kill ng NAGA Esports in Daigo.
Yeah, as well as yung gold na talaga, nakuha sa
sorry
early,
na.
early tower pushes.
grabe.
Walang counter, walang turtle potential ang Infuse Esports. More on sila sa try mag late game, pero wala silang pang counter sa push ng late game.
Walang
diba?
pang-stop ng push. May late game sila pero wala silang pang-stop ng push. Meron si Gertrude, I mean, may poke pero hindi pa rin.
But it's not enough to clear a wave. Kasi pag tumama siya kunyari sa melee minions, meron pang siege minions saka rain minions sa likuran, diba?
Yeah.
And that's not enough wave clear for them to use.
Ayan, so dito pa sa ating endgame screen makita natin na yung performance din ni Daigo na Badger niya, 12 assists. Ang taas ng assist ng mga players nila. Talaga they group up. Hindi nila hinayaan na maging problema yung kawalan ng teleport dito ni Suzaku.
Yeah, kasi nga, yung nga sinabi natin, di ba? They opt to go in for the Ignite para magkaroon siya ng lane advantage sa top lane.
Yes.
Alright, so
Okay,
that was game 1.
Yeah, if you look at our standings, makikita natin that will shoot up NAGA Esports 1 point now, scoring 1 point dito sa ating best of 2 series against Infuse Esports. If they manage to take that win, ilang points makukuha nila?
3 points, people. Yeah.
Ayan.
So, medyo magana sila. Mapapantayan nila ang Imperium Pro Team Blues. So, we'll get back to you on that. Sa game 2 natin, makikita ba natin ngayon na mananalo ang Explicit
natin.
Ang Infuse Esports against NAGA Esports.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Last game na yan. Game 4 na yan. Mga summoners, mga rifters, mga kaparo, and to all of our viewers out there. Okay? Huwag na natin patagalin to, okay? Just have a quick break. esports.garena.ph/stream. Diyan lang kayo. Huwag nyo na i-close. Instead, invite your friends in. Nako, sama-sama tayong manalo dito ng skin code, di ba?
Match and win.
Promo. Of course, syempre, itong Pro Gaming Series made possible by the official shotmate of PGS Booster C Genius.
Boost your focus.
Boost your game. We
Yes.
are your shotcasters, GS Shinbu with 1 for an 9.
And of course, I'm GS Asteroid with the 9.
We'll be right back.